SkyCore Inc. Its Manhattan HQ gleams like a tech showroom. Polished marble floors reflect natural light streaming through towering glass walls. Digital displays flash the lines of code, whispering million-dollar ideas. Avery Linhart, 21, stands before the automatic door, gripping her worn backpack. Inside, her mother's homemade lunch: brown rice, pan-seared chicken, steamed veggies. Nothing fancy, but essential for Avery's first day as an intern at the company dubbed the Gen Z Apple. She hasn't revealed who her father is. Michael Linhart, SkyCore's legendary founder. That's intentional. Compete on your own merit, he told her. They'll respect you, not your name. The door opens. Avery enters where every gaze starts from shoes, then eyes. Reception. Sorry, your badge isn't activated yet. Please wait. She patiently sits. 10 minutes later, Erica Monroe, the sharply dressed assistant to the COO, shows up. You Avery Linhart? Yes. Follow me. And next time, skip the lunchbox, go Starbucks. Avery glances at her lunch bag, plain, unremarkable. But it keeps her food warm. In the 19th floor conference room are 8 interns, all Ivy Leaguers, competent and confident. Avery sits in the remaining seat nodding politely. Some acknowledge her, others ignore her. She quietly watches. Jessica, Yale, loud laughter. Liam, quiet, from a small tech school, always heads down. Brandon, Princeton, designer shoes, perfectly coiffed. Liam's modest backpack mirrors hers. That draws her in. Lunch break. The contempt begins. In the pantry, interns pick free sandwiches or order in. Avery unwraps her lunch. Jessica sniffs and laughs. Boiled eggs? I thought that was pet food. Brandon adds, Harvard didn't teach Uber Eats? Erica watches from afar, smirking instead of intervening. Liam glances at Avery and then returns to quiet eating. A jab lands, but Avery eats slowly. Inside, a small cut forms. Later, a system crash throws SkySync into chaos. Erica panics. What now? The core team's swamped. Avery steps forward. May I try? I have experience with back-end cache and API routing. Erica scoffs. YouTube trained? Liam speaks up. Let her try. Avery runs a few commands. 30 seconds later, the system was restored. Silence fills the room. Erica mutters, Just beginner's luck, don't get cocky. At home in Brooklyn, her mother Linda washes dishes. How was your day? Avery smiles. Fine. Nobody knows who my father is, only that I carry a lunchbox. Linda gently says, You don't always have to hide. Avery replies, I want them to respect me for me. So if they learn eventually, they'll regret being early in judgment. Wednesday morning. Sunlight pours into SkyCore's 19th floor lobby. Avery enters, backpack on, calm as ever. Today's internal pitch day. 8 interns sit around a modern, intense oval table. Erica enters, heels clicking, eyes scanning. She pauses on Avery. Hope you left your lunchbox at home today. Nervous laughter. Avery only smiles. In her backpack, not a lunchbox, but her 2-week rot pitch deck. Brandon pitches first, an AI dating app to predict ghosting. Room laughs. Jessica follows with a deadline app. Solid, no depth. Then Avery stands. Slide. Can data understand people better than we do? She lays out an AI system with 3 layers: real-world habits, hidden emotions, and behavioral evolution. Data isn't just numbers. Mood, resistance, the unspoken. Silence. 8 interns listen. If eyes stiffen into focus, you know the effect. No applause needed. They just listen. Then the door opens. In walks Michael Linhart, in their mid-50s with salt and pepper hair, is wearing a gray suit with no logo. Silence drops. No introductions. Everyone knows this is Skycore's cool Silicon Valley brain. He stops at Avery's seat. I was told there is a presentation worth stopping my other meetings for. A stunned Erica. Sir, I wasn't aware. Michael lifts a finger, a gentle full stop. He looks at Avery and smiles, a private kind of smile. Well done, whispers Ripple. Liam looks up first. Jessica quietly says, Wait, you're his daughter? Michael turns to the group. Yes. Avery Linhart, my daughter. She restored the systems yesterday, though many here jokingly call her Lunchbox Girl. Silence moves like a winter breeze. Avery stands. That's it. No pride, no anger, just that knowing look. Michael continues. I'm saying this not as her father, but after 2 months of watching. Today's result says enough. He turns to Erica. Does anyone remember what I said about how we treat people at the bottom? Silence. Then he declares, If someone bringing a lunchbox earns contempt at a company built from coffee and old sandwiches, we're fundamentally broken. Liam stands and claps softly. That small break draws the others. If you've ever felt judged by your appearance or origins, you know this moment. Avery didn't need to say more. At the end, Michael to Erica, You're suspended. We'll review your record. Avery, take a week off if you wish. A very composed reply. Avery, I want to keep working, and next time I'll bring an extra lunchbox. A rare, big smile from Michael. Liam shyly whispers, Got extra? Mind if I join? News spreads. The CEO's daughter is an intern. Now, people look differently at Avery, unsettling for her. But not a laugh, not a glance. No one mocks her lunch anymore. Only Liam sits beside her each morning. What's for lunch? Boiled eggs, you in? Sure, no raw onions, please. They share lunches all week. Meanwhile, Erica's gone. Suspended amid culture violation review. Brandon and Jessica grow quieter and more awkward, knowing Avery has her notes. She never used them, but having them mattered. That weekend, Avery is invited to her father's office executive suite. Michael stands by the glass, overlooking Manhattan. Michael, what do you think of Skycore's culture? Avery, you built it right, but people here fear embarrassment more than mistakes. He asks, Want to keep your notes? She says, yes, to remember, but not to use. Michael nods, then admits, You passed my test. More, you reminded me that kindness is leadership, often the strongest. Avery doesn't respond. Her eyes reflect the young intern on the ground floor. She's no longer an intern. She broke the ice in that silent room. 1 month later, Skycore launched No Title Week, an experiment where no one uses titles in emails or meetings, only first names. Purpose, to listen to what's said, not who said it. During that week, Avery is invited to speak, not as CEO's daughter, but as someone who experienced silent judgment. She says, quietly, I thought silence was survival. I learned silence mattered only if you remember it, and later, choose the right moment to speak. The auditorium is near quiet. Liam is the first to clap, and then hundreds follow. If you felt unseen before, this moment resonates. And if this story touches you, I hope you'll share a comment below, not for attention, but to remind someone they're not alone. Skycore changed. Erica's gone. But her last email said, I thought I controlled the room, but it took one real person to expose the fear hiding beneath. Avery continues to work with her lunchbox at Liam's side. But things have changed. No one asks about her lunch anymore. They ask, What's on your mind today? Avery's Brooklyn apartment with her mother is modest. No marble, no luxury fridge. Just warmth, bookshelves, and a sticky note on the bathroom mirror. Live by your values, not your position. Her father wrote it when she was 13 after she snapped. Avery. I'm ashamed of having money, but living simply. He asked, Are you embarrassed by what you have, or what others think you lack? She cried, I feel I don't belong anywhere. He replied, Then build a place you belong to, not with labels, but by how you let others feel. She stopped demanding luxuries that day, deciding to step into adulthood on her own feet, no golden pass needed. So, he tested his values and placed her as an intern when the company's fame soared. And when she dared show weakness, he watched but didn't step in. Within Skycore, no title week shook up the hierarchy. Meetings with stripped titles force you to listen to ideas, not roles. And Avery, without official rank, was invited by small teams to speak about real impact and questioning mindsets. Once, during new hire training, the coordinator asked, Avery, when did you feel you belonged? She answered, I never felt like I belonged, so I became someone who fits, and over time, the place changed. No applause, no eyes drifted. That moment plants a seed of struggle, change, and authenticity. Later lunch on the 11th floor balcony, Liam reveals he had a speech disorder growing up, once mocked as a buggy Liam coder. Liam, I came here to prove I'm smart, but couldn't speak up. Avery hands him an egg. If you can't speak, write. And if I speak but not heard, my work must speak louder. They're different, and the same. That's why they feel safe together. That week, Jessica, the one who mocked the Lunchbox, messages, Could you review my revised intern onboarding doc? Aubrey helps. After the session, Jessica stands. I used to think only skills mattered. Now I see skill without respect is an empty shell. Thank you for staying when we treated you poorly. Avery smiles faintly. That says it all. On the 30th floor boardroom, reserved for top-level leaders, sunlight streams in. This feels like the first time a child is invited to sit among adults, but chooses not to grab the most significant slice. Michael sits at the head, tapping his pen gently, not impatience, but gathering words he's never spoken to her. Avery enters in a white shirt and khakis. No title, just presence. She doesn't fit formal dress. They've chosen her standards. He gestures to sit. No ceremony. Michael, you know, since you joined, anonymous feedback tripled. But more important, it's real feedback, not just polished reports. It includes emotion. Avery nods. He adds, Would you like to lead a team? Start a cultural initiative? I'm not offering a title. You'd have full authority. Avery turns to the window, perhaps recalling that jammed back stairway, then back. Avery, I won't accept it. Michael raises an eyebrow, curious, not angry. Michael, why? Avery, smiling. I'm not enough yet. And if I accepted, people might assume I'm just following that same privileged path, returning where I already belong. But if I say no, they'll need to rediscover who they are, instead of just accepting me as CEO's daughter. He quietly nods, the understanding nod of a CEO who knows actual authority lies in what you give away, not what you keep. Avery places a proposal packet on the table. Avery, but I do have an idea. Inside, a training program called First Names Only, an intern boot camp where no one is identified by school, status, or title. Only first name, fundamental skills, and real stories. She continues, I'll lead this. Not to train geniuses, but to retain good people. Skycore has no shortage of talent. It lacks a place where they can be themselves. Michael smiles, not just approval, but recognition. He has found a true leader who shapes by choice, not decree. 1 month later, the first Names Only cohort launched. a 19-year-old janitor's son who learned to code on a used phone. A girl returning to work after body shaming forced her out. Liam was the first to sign up using only his real name, no junior developer after it. They don't know who Avery is. They simply call her the Lunchbox girl who listens, and maybe that's enough.